understand anymore. You don't even like him. You practically begged me to go out with him to get him off your back. Now you're angry because I didn't have a terrible time? Why do you care?
Oh, I don't know. I just know I'm terribly upset because I'm letting this get me terribly upset. Oh, Blanche, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Oh. Listen, last night...
Dorothy? Dorothy?
Oh, good. I think she's waking up.
Oh, honey, come on, sweetie.
Here, darling.
Are you all right?
Oh.
Here.
Oh, I'm fine, Rose. Oh, that was strange. I've never fainted before.
Me neither. What does it feel like after you...
Ma, I think this will be good for you. Mr. Porter seems like a nice man. I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun there.
And don't forget the money. I haven't had a paycheck since 1942, and then I blew it all on war bonds.
Well, at least you got it back.
No, Italian war bonds. I fell for their slick ad that took
around a while.
Get rid of him.
I think he's coming down with the flu.
Oh, who cares?
Don't explain, Rose. I used to live with a couple of bitches myself.
Stick around a while.
Get rid of him.
I think he's coming down with the flu.
Oh, who cares?
Don't explain, Rose. I used to live with a couple of bitches myself.
We're talking about here, and it's more than just a home. It's memories, Dorothy. This is where I live with my husband. It's my past, and it's my future as I move on toward middle age. It's all I have.
You're right, Blanche. It's a lot to ask.
I'm sorry, but it... Good night, Grammy.
Back.
Hello. Dorothy isn't here. She was arrested on a morals charge this morning. I know you just never know, do you? Have a nice day.
Sick and crazy. And to know what I have and that there are a lot of other people who have the same thing.
I don't like the name. I think you ought to have a better name.
Well, that's what Dr. Chang said. Chronic fatigue syndrome makes it sound like I'm just a tired person when it is so much more than that. She's not out there.
She isn't in her bedroom.
There's no one in the kitchen now, but I think she was there. The coffee's still warm.
Oh, Ma, that's because we were in there drinking it less than an hour ago.
Excuse me, Miss Marple. I'm new at this.
Blanche, where have you been?
Blanche, why didn't you call us? You had us worried. Miracle worker. I'm an idiot.
Dorothy, you have to stop beating yourself over the head with this.
Right, Pussycat. You're not the one who made him drop out, or the one who made him a recluse. You're not the one who made him decide to live his life behind closed doors. You're just the one.
But he thinks his hometown is pretty special.
I know I do. I'll never forget when I went back after many, many years. Everything was just as I remembered it. Garbage in the street, prostitutes in the doorways, a couple of guys hanging from the heels of the town square. Oh, I can't go on. Got a handkerchief?
Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
Dr. Hyde, outside call. Hey, kissing. Hello. Dorothy, Miles, lips aflame, they were kissing.
And?
And she's pregnant with his love child. What do you mean, and? Isn't Isn't that enough? Aren't you shocked?
Well, not really. I saw them kiss.
Hawaii for 2 weeks. They're leaving my 14-year-old grandson with me.
Oh, Blanche, that's wonderful news. What, you shouldn't be upset.
No, I should be upset. How am I supposed to study for my French final with a 14-year-old in the house? It's hard enough with an 80-year-old.
I have grandchildren?
Yes. And I'll bet they'd love to know you.
Oh, my. So would I.
Rose, have you seen my mother?
Oh, Dad, these are my roommates, Dorothy and Blanche.
Very pleased to meet you.
Rose has told me all about you two. I know it's a little late for me to start acting like a father, but do you see?
Was it ever less than a treason to bow and accept the end of a love or of a season?
That calendar's from 1984.
Oh, yeah, this is the day I escaped from Shady Pines. It says right here, I'm free. I'm free.
Mr. Gordon.
Dorothy, you look wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gordon.
Hey, no more of that, Mr.
Beats me.
Oh, great. Now what am I going to tell Enrique Mas tomorrow?
You're going to tell him that you are overworked?
Well, I can't tell him that. He'll think I can't do the job.
You can't do it, Rose. Not like this. Now, you're going to talk to him and tell him you have too much to do. If it means your job, it means your job. Have you ever been a fruit before?
No, but having been in the musical theater for 30 years, I've had my share of offers. Well, it was a delight meeting all of you.
Oh, Mr. Vaughn, don't forget, casting is tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
I'm looking forward to it. I trust that all of you will be ready for the part of my leading lady.
Just a little lover's quarrel. Please go on with the party. I better see what's wrong. Care to dance?
Love to.
Anything about baseball. You're just misleading this guy.
Oh, you're just jealous because I have a healthy sex life and all you have is your mother.
Dorothy would rather have me than a healthy sex life. Right, Dorothy?
Right. Not.
That's how you
We're little.
He's not my doctor. He's my friend.
Oh.
Oh, no, Oliver. The bottle, please. Thank you, dear.
Listen, Harry. Thank you. Thank you. I can't tell you what it means to have someone like you believe me.
Give me.
Now.
What a shame. We finally have something in common and I'm moving.
I've never done anything like this before. Tell me, is it possible to love two men at the same time?
Set the scene. Have we been drinking?
Nobody uses it.
You would take a desert people and put them in the ice and snow?
With the proper clothes, they'll be fine.
Renee, listen, you want to talk. Don't call a talk show. Talk to your husband.
Blanche, at the hospital, they call him Saint George. I'm married.
The only reason I gave it to you is to hide that wart.
Oh, my God, it can't be. It is! Count Bessie!
And Angela, that chicken that you cooked the other night, didn't you say you got...
Rose, you don't want to go to France. Is that all that rich food, pigeons everywhere, that corny music? No, listen to me. See America first.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Because I just won a contest, and the prize was a honeymoon trip to Paris worth 50.
He cures everybody and wine sales skyrocket.
Wait a minute. Ma. Unless I'm missing something, your hunch was wrong.
My hunches are never wrong. Now, everyone is living high on the hog and eating rich foods. The next thing you know, there's a gout epidemic. Nobody can steer.
A piece of blue sky just did what they said. Don't stand there and sigh. Get under the bed. Don't stop to complain. It's no good grumbling, 'cause this isn't rain. The sky is crumbling. Oh, this is terrible. She makes me crazy. She's always putting down my way of life, my choice of career. She's never been there for me when I've needed her. Never. And all she ever talks about is how much money she has.
Dorothy, there's upsetting news. She's broke. She invested all her money in junk bonds, and now she's broke.
She has no money?
Never know true love. May you be sterile, and may all your offspring be sterile. May your hair never lie flat, and may your socks always slip down inside your shoes.
And this is the same Giuseppe Mangiacavallo who is the grandfather of the groom?
Now, you see why I want...
40 died cases of peanut brittle.
You really think selling candy's gonna qualify you for that prestigious award?
Oh, excuse me. I didn't realize that slipping my tongue to half the firemen in the county was the more lofty social achievement.
Well, I guess that settles it. I guess I won the award.
Instead of doing the right thing and awarding me the crown as the most beautiful girl in the county, they made me runner-up and awarded me Miss Congeniality instead. At that moment, I vowed to make that town pay for valuing my personality over my perfect body.
I hear that Vanna White has the same problem.
Exactly what I paid for the one I ordered. They made a mistake. They charged me for the inexpensive bed.
Merry Christmas from Neiman Marcus.
Sophia, she can't keep that bed. That'd be like stealing.
It's only stealing if they find out. Apologize for sleeping with Sam. Everybody does.
Blanche Devereaux, you sit down and shut up and listen. I did not sleep with him, and I didn't lose the earrings. You did. Not to mention my watch, which I didn't even know you borrowed.
Oh, I thought I'd mention that.
No, you didn't.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry doesn't cut it, Blanche. I've spent all week making...
Bored, so I suggested they take them.
Blanche, both Rose and I told you not to interfere with their social lives.
I know it. I just thought it might be fun for them.
Oh, being set up on a date is never fun.
In Sicily, everything is set up. Dates, marriage, death, especially death. That's why whenever I go into a restaurant...
Only problem is, this year I don't think I'm going to make it.
What's the matter? Aren't you feeling well?
I ran away from the home to make the trip, and I think they're just about to catch up with me.
Are you Anna Egerman?
Asked me to marry him.
But who? Who could we get? Who?
I told Stan yes.
Did you sign anything?
Ma.
I guess we have no choice. My baby is having a baby. I can't believe it.
But the letter's too sweet to ignore. I'm going to write him back and tell him how much I appreciate it.
Isn't it nice to see Rose feeling so good about herself?
It certainly is. You know, this is the first time I've seen her smile since this whole thing started.
Dorothy, I have a confession to make. I wrote that.
I just hope she doesn't let herself go to pot after that baby comes. I don't want that big-eyed husband of hers coming after me.
I never do very much with my eyebrows.
That's why, from the nose up, you look like Wilford Brimley.
I have a problem.
I'll say. You should never have stopped using that depilatory.
Ma, I'm up here.
Oh!
Ma, Rose isn't talking.
Nerves get a bit jangled at these events. Perhaps you would care to discuss one of my paintings?
That would be lovely.
Good, good. Now, shall we start here? Now, do you see how I echo Monet with my brush strokes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes. And do you see how I show darkness with single points of light?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Amen.
Go to a hypnotist. Change your hair color. My wife became a blonde. She's a new woman.
Yes, room service? Hello, this is Rose Nyland, and I'm staying here in your lovely hotel. Well, I think
Then that's what you'll get. Oh, God, you gave me an R cup.
Ma, will you stop that here?
Listen,
We're the only family Rose has here, so we have to help her through whatever she's going through.
Right.
Sure. So, here's to Rose. Whatever happens, And they're harassing me. Murderers are free, rapists are free, but a poor widow on the floor they try to lock up. Who'd I hurt? Me.
Now look, Rose, this is it. We have had it. No mace, no tear gas, no grenades.
No jewelry.
I won't be get herpes listening to this story. At what point in the evening did you finally meet George?
Well, I didn't meet George that Christmas Eve. That was the next Christmas Eve, but that was a boring story. I said I was going to tell you an exciting story.
Ladies, look, I hate to see people just rank hard.
Simon?
Yes, Garfunkel?
The 88?
Yes.
Yes? Just give us something on the beach. We'll be there on our honeymoon. Come on in, sweetheart. Door's open.
Queen, think about it in your room, Your Highness. I need to use the throne.
You're a wonderful plumber's assistant, Dorothy. Will you come with me for moral support?
Not tonight, Rose. No, I want to get to bed early, curl up with a good book.
That's all you ever do.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is, Dorothy. That's all you've done lately, and it's pathetic. What's even more pathetic is that I've been home to watch.
Look, the Jersey Shore, summer 1939.
Pop sure loved playing with you kids. Why do I look so upset?
Oh, Ma, don't you remember? Pop was a big fan of Jean Harlow's back then. You hated it when he made sand breasts in front of the children.
Pop, game over. I'm going to Disneyland.
How come she gets to go to Disneyland?
Rose, Dorothy needs a hearing aid, but she won't get one because she's afraid she'll feel old.
I don't get it.
Well, leave it. There's a married dead man in my bed.
Serves him right.
Ma.
He lied to her.
I don't know why they do that. Don't they know we'll sleep with him anyway?
Well, what am I going to do? I can't tell her husband died in my bed.
Tell her you want to turn on the...
That's a great idea. I love what you made the last time. What was it called? Gherkinflunken?
Oh, no, that was my uncle. The owner of St. Olaf's most famous haberdashery. He came up with the slogan, "You don't have to be Amish to look Amish."
Got your father call for me and prove to you I'm not totally crazy.
Ma, remember, it's only a carving. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Hey, I may be fading, but that's the sweetest thing that man ever did for me. I know that heart's behind the door.
Safely, and you won't have to lie to the phone company.
Bye.
I forgot my purse. Oh. I know I'm forgetting something else. I know it. I just know.
Oh, come on. Now, Rose, calm down.
Are you sure you want to go through with this?
Oh, yes. But Lily and I have barely spoken since she left. That was 2 months ago.
A vet and a rented garage.
Dorothy, don't get mad, and don't hit me if you do. I kind of bought a Corvette without telling you.
You bought a car without telling me.
I couldn't help myself. I was going through a midlife crisis.
So was I.
Gross. Ooh, baby.
Fine, you're not interested.
Of course I'm interested. See what I have on my feet?
Your regular old shoes.
And do you know why? Because old lady shoes are me. Like it or not, they're a part of my life.
Not that prettier has anything to do with it, but I just am.
You know, Rose, I have a confession to make. I have always dreamed of the chance to raise another baby.
Well, Dorothy, if you're lucky, maybe someday one of your uncles...
You have to find all the other things you are, all the other ways you please people. There's a lot more to you than you know.
You know, sometimes I look in the mirror and I see my mother's face looking back at me. Not all the time, just every now and then when the light's too bright or it's too early in the morning or late at night or I look...
Judge,
Well, why couldn't that judge just make up his mind at the hearing?
I thought he was going to. You know, I spent 20 minutes giving him reasons why Mario should be allowed to stay. He just said thank you and excused us.
Okay, Blanche, I finished making your lunch. It's on the table.
Oh, won't you join me, Dorothy?
Well, thanks. It might help take my mind off.
I thought you had to work.
You told me you had a last-minute emergency.
So they're all liars. That's an asset when you're planning a surprise like this.
Come on, we've got reservations for dinner and dancing.
Ma, I bet you were in on this all along, weren't you?
Of course I was. These dimwits' idea of romance is a Coors Light and a Love Boat rerun.
All right, let's go.
Dorothy, you know this is my funeral dress. I don't believe in wearing black, unless I'm a little bloated.
Did you happen to notice if my mother's all right?
Oh, she's fine right now. You know, last night she talked to me about the pain of losing a child.
Stanley. He said he was being shipped off to Korea and would probably die, and it would mean so much. That was my part of the war effort. It took 3 seconds. I wasn't sure that we had done anything, actually, until 9 months.
Support you needed. I know what you've been through, and I'm really very happy things turned out.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Hey! Oh, he's right. You guys were terrific. Thank you for being there for me. And thank you for making me feel you'd always be...
What am I doing up? I'm subbing for a teacher who was shot by a student. I need all the sleep I can get.
I used to sleep so well, I never even turned over. I'd wake up with a perfect hairdo. Charlie, on the other hand, moves. Yeah, the 3 of us are planning a vacation together.
Without me?
Well, we were hoping that maybe you'd stay here and watch the house.
Why don't you take the house? I'll stay here and watch the hole in the ground.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Ma.
Brooke Shields takes her mother everywhere.
She just found out about it.
It's a hell of an illusion. Maybe we should just saw her in half.
Excuse me, I'll get the coffee.
Dinner was delicious, Rose. What was it?
It's a Scandinavian specialty, Kaldomar.
Blonde flamingo.
In that case, we better tip the paper boy. What's with the photo album?
Oh, I'm doing a family history, and I'm going to need your help. You know, I think it's important to tell the grandchildren about their ancestors. Give them a sense of pride in those who came before them.
Even Uncle Nunzio?
Even...
I don't know what to say.
Is it just your heart that's clogged to your ears, too? Let me start again. A half a pound of lox, a dozen bagels assorted, no coffee, 2 prune Danish, 6 sour pickles, and a container of cream cheese.
Come in.
I'm gonna... Oh, I'm okay.
I've decided the best thing for me is to go to a sperm bank and get artificially inseminated.
Why would you do something like this just to hurt me?
Mama, try to understand. I can't pass a carriage without looking in.
There are the Boscos. Philomena!
You know, girls, I've been thinking. Ever since Mel and I met, I always figured he'd be around when I needed him, but I never thought about his needs. All I cared about were mine. And I just always figured he'd be available, and he was. Oh, girls, he's always been there for me. I just took him for granted.
Oh, honey, don't...
For every cottage is April in Paris.
And every bathroom, Calcutta in July.
Do you remember how I convinced you to let me back into bed?
No.
I've got a crush on you, sweetie pie.
House while I pick up Angela.
Whatever you say.
Ma, get away from the back door.
You got eyes in the back of your head or what?
No, why can't you just relax and enjoy your surprise?
Because the last surprise I got was when I walked in on your cousin Vito parading around on my girdle.
But his days are numbered. When the revolution comes, he's the second to be shot.
Who's the first?
Morales, my next door neighbor who knocked up my sister.
Well, this is dandy. Just dandy. I knew I should never have let you two
On your own sister. I'm not turning my back on you. I love you. I'm just trying to do what I think is best for you.
What you think is best? What do you know about being blind?
Oh, Lily, this is very painful for me. Please don't make it any harder than it already is.
I'm sorry, Rose. I'm sorry. I promise.
Hey, come on down here. Let me buy you a drink.
Hey, no. I want to buy her a drink.
Hey, I asked her first.
Come on, boys. I am woman enough for all of you.
This is the point in my dream where I usually wake up screaming. What are you doing here anyway, Dorothy?
Well, I
try to pretend you don't notice his hands caressing your calf as he tries to keep his mind on shoes, but all the time he's thinking, dare I peek? Dare I look more? Dare I look where no eyes have looked before?
Person, you always find something wrong with mine, so yours looks better.
I didn't say anything. But let's face it, those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it. Look at the ducky wrapping paper. And the little stick-on bow. Did you...
Oh, great. What are we supposed to do now?
Back in Minnesota, we'd settle this kind of a dispute with some good-natured log rolling.
No. Sorry, Rose, my log is in the shop. What do we do now? Toss a coin?
Okay.
All right.
That was just a coincidence, Dorothy.
Hey, Al! I've been looking all over for you.
Really? I don't think I've moved from this spot.
Excuse me, would you like to buy a flower?
Beat it, Frodo! And while you're at it, get a job, get a suit, and get on your knees and beg your mother's forgiveness. Right? Oh, wait, that's a woman. Oh, wait, that's Dorothy.
No, I meant for the auction so she won't get stuck with another loser.
Rose, that's not a bad idea. We were all going to donate money anyway. We could chip in, say, $50 and buy her the bull of the ball.
Coming.
Thank God you're here. I was a wreck. I was sitting there night after night with Oliver, just lonely as hell. I didn't know what was going on up here. And I thought, what if I lose her?
It was a tragedy.
Rose, you've been rehearsing for 3 days. Why are you making a scene now?
Well, that was the first time we rehearsed the ending. I didn't know that Turkey and Henny and Goosey were all eaten by Foxy Loxy. Oh, the humanity.
Rose, you mean you didn't even...
Look, you've won. I'm begging you, take off the curse, will you? My golf clubs are missing. My clocks are all wrong. I can't sleep. I can't eat.
You can't sit.
That too. Please take it off.
Move the tree.
You'll be out of here tomorrow.
You got a deal.
At the process. Oh, Becky. Honey, I think you are headed for trouble going off by yourself like this. No man is going to want to marry you with a baby.
Blanche, there are a lot of people who are single parents, and they're doing just fine.
Yeah, look at me.
Well, that's great. Now I won't be able to refill the prescription till tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a holiday. Pharmacy's closed.
Maybe I have another bottle in my room.
I can't understand how you could forget to tell Rose about that accident.
Forgive me, my memory's not as good as it used to be. Nothing on me is as good as it used to be.
I hate when I get stuck behind one of those.
He's dead, sweetie. But hey, I'm used to it. I put 3 in the ground. Well, what can I tell you? I like him old, rich, and barely breathing.
Why don't I...
Well, nothing. He didn't send a letter.
Well, that is unbelievable. I wrote him 2 days earlier. I did the dumbest thing. I walked out of this house and completely forgot it's a full moon. Under those conditions, a Sunshine Cadet Master must wear full headdress. Here I come, girls. I've got great news. I found the dog's owner.
Oh, how did you know it was his owner?
Well, he recognized the dog from the picture, and the dog came to him when he called him.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, I'm so glad he found his owner.
Dorothy, why are you crying?
You don't get any privacy. One of us always ends up sharing a bed. Every time someone visits, I'm in your room, you're in my room, she's in her room, she's in your room. Look at me.
What?
You're getting a cold.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Tomorrow you'll have a cold.
What is this, the curse of the Catwoman?
The nitty-gritty, why don't you all tell me a little bit about yourself?
Fine. I'm a teacher. I'm divorced.
I'm a widow. No man would leave me unless he absolutely had to. I'm 41 years old. I'm 5'6". I weigh 108 pounds, and my hair is its natural hue.
Oh. Sure, Blanche. Your
story. You have to tell Dorothy she's your friend.
You're right. She is my best friend.
I thought I was your best friend.
You were till you told me that story.
You?
Good night, Dorothy.
Good night, Elliot.
Oh, 1 pack will last her a lifetime. Dorothy?
Out in a minute, Ma.
Wants. And what he wanted was mine. And you know, that got me to thinking. All my life, I have had a unique charm that just kind of flowed naturally. Now, if I tampered with that, why, I could risk losing forever that special magic that is Blanche Devereaux. That, frankly, was a risk I was not willing to take.
You mustn't rush into anything, Blanche. You hardly know him.
I just wonder what my husband George would think about me and Harry.
Well, if he was alive, he probably would not like it. But since he's dead, I don't think it poses a problem.
Well, I just want him to know that I'm happy, but that I could never...
Which is why there's no Mrs. Feinbaum, dear.
Did you see that, Dorothy? There was a UFO.
Oh, Rose, don't be ridiculous. It was a plane. Deal. Come on.
Planes don't fly over residential neighborhoods.
Neither do UFOs.
The most important man in my life. But as much as I cared about him, I can't help but care about you, too. You're like a sister to me, and I can't throw that away. So, I forgive you for being a moralless, emotionally needy... Well, she keeps calling. What should I do?
I'll get you off that phone.
Rose, I've fallen and can't get up. Help me!
I can't help you right now. I'm on the phone.
Ma.
I forgot this. I don't want to go. Don't make me go, please.
Ma, you always loved it when we did things together. Why the sudden change?
Don't look at me. Rose is the one going through the change.
Well, that would explain the puffiness.
I need some coffee.
Oh, I'd love a cup, Sophia.
Oh, me too.
And so familiar. This is mine. I thought the cleaner lost it.
I told you the cleaner lost it. I took it. I needed something to go with my black sweater.
This is my black sweater.
I know. It goes great with
my pearls.
Oh, Sophia, I wasn't talking to myself. I was talking to the dog.
Naomi Birch used to talk to woodpeckers. 1,000 volts a day stopped that.
Isn't he he adorable? I found him at the market. He was lost. I'm going to keep him till I can find his owner.
Only if he can find his owner before Dorothy gets home. She hates dogs.
Hello.
Give us a few minutes, please.
5 minutes more, then I've got to bury Mr. Pincus.
You see,
Is there a Blanche Hollingsworth here?
He's been killed.
Arrested.
What?
He gave me this to give to you. He's a bigamist, ma'am. He's wanted in 4 states. He's got 6 wives.
Ma. He's not old. He's a perfectly healthy young man.
Just be home before midnight, Dorothy.
Excuse me, sir.
Go away.
Just a minute.
I love you.
Thank you.
And you?
I care for you.
You care for me?
Yes, very much. I probably should have said that sooner. Well, let's go get some sleep now.
Business partners, that's the extent of it. You understand?
Okay, I give up. Business partners, I understand. Can we shake on it? I need you, Dorothy. Without you, I'm nothing. Do you hear me? Nothing.
Stan, as much of a turn on as this is, get off the floor.
I belong.
She was a frogman and swam right into the bulkhead. They put a metal plate in her head. Now she gets HBO through her eyeballs. Don't look at me like that. If Tyson has another fight, you may want to set her up in the rec hall.
This is all hard to believe.
If it's not true...
Well, this has been very difficult for me, but I want you to know I forgive you.
I don't need your forgiveness. I mean, I'm not ashamed of anything I've done. Blanche, your father and I were in love. We didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. Now, in another time and place, we would have been married. But at that time in the South...
Idle passion, while I had to call a cab to take me home. Never mind. The point is, you snore.
Hey, let's face it. None of you was a day at the beach. Remember when we had that cold snap and the heat gave out? Boy, what a night.
Head out the window. And you look to the extreme left, and what do you see?
2 guys beating up an old lady.
Yes, sir.
The ocean?
Ta-da! I rest my case.
Now, wait. You call that an ocean view? You have to be a contortionist to see.
Hey!
Blanche, let me ask you a question. Are you allowed to go back to Chattanooga?
Are you kidding? The sheriff still rides.
It's better as a teaching priest at St. Helens instead of a parish priest here. Well, we're going to miss you around here.
Look, I know priests are men and they have urges. What is it, lust? It'll pass. I do without you. Get used to it. Get cable TV.
Blanche, I thought you were in bed.
Oh, I couldn't sleep. It must be from living with old people. I've been going through my diaries. Just listen to this. March 3rd, 1967.
Hey, Jacques. Give me a hand and watch where you put it.
I have
Rose, what are you doing? You just bid against us.
Oh, I guess I got carried away with the cool part.
Rose, I could just smack you.
I have 85.
Give me that
I have 9. Going once, going twice, unless you ladies would like...
So that's it. You're willing to give us the Donatello triplets if we put your new boyfriend in the show.
That's blackmail.
That's show business.
Hi, girls. How's everything going?
Awful. Kent Ferguson canceled. We don't have an MC for the talent show.
We don't even have
His concert last night.
What?
Oh, I don't believe it. This is it. This has to be it. Come on, let's get going.
Dorothy, we can't go to a charity event like this.
Rose, the auction started 20 minutes ago.
I'm right behind you.
Hey, those gifts I was talking about, they were more tokens of affection than actual
He never wants to see you again. And the truth is, I'm going out with Thomas tonight. You're not upset, are you, Blanche?
Well, no, I'm not upset. It serves me right. Hey, matter of fact, take the Mercedes. Yeah, have a good time.
Oh, Blanche, that's awfully sweet of you.
I cannot believe it is Saturday night, and I, Blanche Devereaux, the most witty, stunning, criminally sensuous woman to come out of the South since Miss Tallulah Bankhead.
I'm going to keep it as a reminder for the next time you behave like a big fat jerk.
Oh.
Honey, you sure you're going to be able to pretend to be surprised at that banquet?
Oh, of course. I pretended to be a virgin half a dozen times. Yes.
Oh, Blanche, you look terrific. You look like you lost 15 pounds.
Oh, well, thank you, Sophia.
Oh, that's your thigh. I thought it was part of the couch. Blanche, try to remember, gravy isn't a beverage.
Blanche, Ma broke her glasses. She can't see.
I am never speaking to that low-down scuzzball ever again. He changed his mind.
Hello? Yes, this is Rose. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, okay. Bye.
The Lord.
Ma, what is going on here?
Afterglow.
What a meal, Rose, and what a deal, Rose. Uncle Cluck's tastes just like chicken all-you-can-eat buffet.
You love your early bird specials.
You bet, especially when they forget to collect the coupon. Come on, Rose.
What's the most romantic thing a man ever did for you, Dorothy?
Oh, well, the most romantic thing was when Stan proposed. Oh, he took me to a very expensive...
Because this guy was a jerk because he didn't sleep with you?
Well, yeah. What'd you think I was saying? Gosh, it's getting late. I bet it's after 1 o'clock and Dorothy's not home. I guess Dr. Kagan's turning out to be wonderful.
Or maybe he drugged her and sold her into white slavery.
I'd rather have the cash.
Actually, it's not for you, it's for Miles.
He'd rather have the cash.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about those ridiculous pictures Blanche puts on her Christmas cards?
Those cards are a moving tribute to the spirit of...
I don't care what that salesgirl said. I look good in that bathing suit. You know, sometimes I wish I did live in Brazil.
Excuse me. One of you ladies dropped this?
Is there any money in it?
Uh-huh.
I dropped it. Well, how do I look?
Hey, terrific. Where are you going tonight?
Fidel is taking me to the Burt Reynolds Dinner Theater to see Ruth Buzzy and Evita.
Dorothy, how do I... Where are you going?
To the Burt Reynolds Dinner Theater with Fidel.
But that's impossible.
I can imagine my heartbreak when one morning I find it dead.
How does a paper bird die?
Good question. Someone used it to restart the pilot light.
Ingrid Thurman stopped.
What was she writing?
She wasn't. She was giving birth to Hans and Franz, the twins. And she stopped right in the middle, right after Hans.
Well, what happened to Franz?
He stayed in.
Blanche, why is this a story about acceptance?
Oh, because years later, to get back at me, Kathy Lee slept with my daddy. That was something I had to accept. Wait! Oh, damn.
Thank you. One, do you read People magazine? And two, are you doing anything tonight around midnight?
It was an accident. A delicious accident.
Well, Ma, I just can't do it now. I'm going to be teaching that honors program class, and it's going to be a challenge. I'm going to have students who know that Chekhov is a brilliant Russian playwright, not the guy who was the navigator on the Enterprise.
That's not what I was going to ask you, but you answered my question anyway.
Why? I don't understand.
I was going to ask you to marry me.
Margaret Weinstein did the same thing when they changed her medication.
Do you think she could take Dorothy's place in the recital?
Oh, come on, honey. I'll be fine by next week.
Maybe you should have it checked by a doctor.
Oh, come on. It's a very simple thing that comes and goes. I've had it for years. I mean, it's...
Come in. Oh, it's you.
Look, Blanche, we have to talk.
I don't believe I have anything to say to you, Dorothy.
Then let me do the talking. Elliot was just here, and he...
The good people in that town saved and sacrificed so that Peter and Maddie could have 1 weekend of fun before his operation.
He looks fine.
Oh, tell him that. Look, call me crazy. I don't see anything wrong with...
Dorothy, honey, sit down. Pacing isn't gonna help.
I just can't stop thinking about Ma.
Look at that. Perfect. 98.6.
Yep, that's what it looks like to me.
Gallops into town. Of course, both girls are impressed. He dates one night, the other the next night. Pretty soon, he drives a wedge between them. Before you know it, the pizza suffers, the business suffers, the friendship suffers. The girls part company and head for America. Without telling me all the time. How do you think I got pregnant with your brother, Phil?
Just remember, Dorothy, I'll handle everything. I'm a salesman. I deal with people all the time. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Shut up, Stan.
Mellow out.
I don't want to make a fuss.
Well, then call Enrique Mas and let him make your fuss for you. Right there on television. You gotta stand up for your rights, Rose.
All right, maybe I'll call.
Rose!
Well, I just feel overwhelmed. How could this have happened? Charlie and I were so careful with our money. We saved, we never... But you're not in any pain?
Oh, no, slight discomfort.
You want discomfort? Try sitting in this chair for 8 hours.
How was the dance recital?
Oh, we were great. They loved us. We've been invited to dance next month at the Sunset Charity Ball.
And there's even...
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, boys and girls. Happy birthday to you. Welcome to Mr. Ha-Ha's Hot Dog Hacienda. I have lots of fun planned for you.
Sophia,
What does it mean, a little less bourbon?
It's a big decision, Sophia. She's got to think about it.
She's family. If you can't count on family, who the hell can you count on?
She's Italian. Trapped in a seething cauldron of forbidden passion for his gorgeous sister-in-law. There were nights when he actually bayed at the moon. But he finally realized that I was totally committed to George, so
Time since I've taken you to the movies, hasn't it? Blanche, this guy has gone past being a challenge. He is really treating you very badly.
Oh, Dorothy, you'll see. I'm just reeling him in.
Blanche, look, I usually don't talk to you about the menu date.
Nor do I talk to you about the menu date. Oh, listen to me. I made a joke. I'm getting married. What do you think about that? Oh.
I think it's a mistake.
To wear all that makeup.
I know it's fast, but I just don't know when I'll find another like him. He just, oh, girls, he makes me feel so good, so young, so happy.
Oh, Rose.
Me just a little. Thank you. You know, I have been practicing law for many, many years. It has always amazed me how little my job actually had to do with justice.
Are you the doctor?
Yes? Oh, the contractions have been approximately 5 minutes apart for the last 45 minutes. I suggest you see how dilated she is.
Gee, I never would have thought of that.
Let's get her head up so the baby can get more oxygen.
No, get her feet up so it'll be a boy.
Always runs. I want a girl.
Put her down. What's going on?
Oh, Blanche is telling me about Freud.
Why are you asking her? I'm the one who slept with him.
Stop meddling in my life. I am sick of it. I told you, if I want a date, I can find one for myself.
Oh, Dorothy, dear, sweet, delusional Dorothy.
Blanche, if you don't mind, I'm having a heart-to-heart with my mother. Now listen up, you withered old Sicilian monkey.
This is terrible. I was raised to hate communists. I remember in the early 50s when McCarthy came to St. Olaf to speak in the town square. I was never so moved by a public speaker. Although some people thought he was a puppet for the right wing. No, wait, that was Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot all about your tutoring session.
Well, it's okay. We were just finishing.
Hi, Blanche. You look pretty.
You should see me if I had earrings. So what are y'all doing?
Oh, well, we just finished algebra.
Why do I have to learn algebra?
Because I had to learn how to teach it. And now I'm just checking the...
Gotcha, Dorothy. It was just a shopping list. You have absolutely no sense of humor. Just like your Uncle Vito. At least I think he was your Uncle Vito. Kidding, just kidding.
Sophia, why are you up?
Same reason you're up.
You're filled with anxiety?
I'm old.
I'm not old.
Oh, forgive me. I'm supposed to support your vain, narcissistic fantasy that you're still in...
Twice. But it's not like I wouldn't have anyway.
Oh, good. The newspaper's here. Give me the classified.
Oh, Ma, you're not going to answer ads in the personals again, are you? We got a lot of complaints last time.
Hey, he asked for a single white... No.
Must you do that?
She can't help it, Blanche. She has to blow her nose. Or is that a banana?
Oh, dear God.
Pills.
charming homes.
Yes.
Full of idiots.
Yes.
What? I never saw anything like it. Must be the water.
I grew up in St. Olaf, and most of my family still live.
Excuse me, ladies. I'm Dr. Ashley. Won't you come into my office?
I'm Sophia Petrillo, and my idea of a good psychiatrist is a bartender who pours without a spout.
Doctor, I'm Dorothy's Borna.
Dorothy?
I'm Rose Nyland.
Rose.
I'm Blanche Devereaux, and I know it.
I have a 2, 7, Jack 10, and that's right, a 4.
That doesn't beat a pair of jacks.
Well, it did when you had it.
I told you that's called a wizard. It's only good once a night. I'll be putting this in the collection box later.
Sophia? Living up to her standards.
She's always harping on us to do everything just right. I'm surprised she doesn't check our underwear before we leave the house.
Those of you who wear underwear.
As they say in St. Olaf, Helderbargen Marken
You want to help us out here, Rose?
Well, there's really no English word for gefluffen. Loosely
Blanche, wake up. My wife will be home any minute.
Oh, Dorothy, that was a terrible thing to do.
I'm sorry, but we have to get down to the bowling alley.
Oh, it's 6 a.m. Why are you making me do this?
You have to.
Please, now we have a real problem. Sophia is missing, and you are my last hope. I've already tried calling Sicily's Department of Missing Persons. They just laughed at me.
You call missing persons in Sicily? You got it wrong. You call them to lose somebody.
But what should I do? Do you know any...
Sounds insane, but I thought that a little physical activity would help me snap this setback. I was wrong. You were right. I should just rest. Could you help me get back into bed?
Stanley, how could you fake a relapse? I mean, do I deserve this? Stan, I took care of you because I thought you needed me. I defended you to my...
Charlie was the only man she ever slept with.
And you admitted Stan was the only man you ever slept with?
And I admitted my shoe size was really 5.5.
I wish we had more time together. Wait a minute. What are we doing? The flight has been perfectly smooth. There hasn't been...
I'm making omelets for us without yolks so we don't get too much cholesterol. And that leaves us all these yolks, which I hate to throw out, so I thought we'd give them to the homeless.
Fine, give them egg yolks. They'll die of heart attacks. They won't need homes.
I thought I heard you
I couldn't sleep. I had a horrible nightmare.
Oh, well, tell it to me. I'm awful good at interpreting dreams.
I was a contestant on the dating game, and I won. I went around the corner.
It just went up. I'll get back to you within 48 hours.
What's going on? Where did she take Fernando?
She took him home, Rose.
Rosie, honey, Fernando doesn't exactly belong to you anymore. Well, I kind of gave him to Daisy by mistake.
Hello, Madge.
That's Blanche.
Oh, didn't I say that? This is my date, Norman. He's a student in my creative writing course.
I didn't know you taught high school.
Norman and I are the same age, spiritually.
Hey, listen, if you can get him to buy... Stanley, don't worry. I'm 82 years old. My bones are brittle. My muscles are atrophied. My circulation is worse than U.S. News and World Report. There's no physical they can give that Sophia Petrillo can't fail.
And when she felt that she wouldn't be missed, she slipped out of the dining room and headed upstairs. Kendall had let himself into Blanche's room while she was in the shower and was making himself comfortable.
Out walking. You know what today was, Rose? It was my birthday.
Blanche.
Now, don't start your yammering. It was one of the best birthdays I have ever had. I did some soul searching, and it occurred to me that I'm a vibrant, energetic woman. I mean, I must still have some life left in me if I can make Mel Bushman's head snap back like that.
You mean old Pez head?
You think we'll stay like this always?
I think eventually we'll have to go to the bathroom.
And you'll love me always?
Always.
Because I won't always look like this, you know.
Honey, you don't look like you did 10 years ago, but that hasn't...
A hug and forget this ever happened.
You bet we can. Come here, you two.
Oh, I'm glad we're friends again.
Oh, me too.
Listen, Blanche, now that we have you telling the truth,
I do think Jake did a wonderful job. Where is he, by the way?
Oh, I don't know. Probably out in the kitchen.
There he is, over by the dessert table.
oh, he looks great in his tux.
Hunter, would you be a dear and get me another wine spritzer?
Of course.
Girls, I want you to do me a great big favor.
What is it?
Ma, you're still here. I thought you were moving.
I will be, smarty pants. I found out about this agency that matches elderly people with roommates. Hello?
Hi, Miles. Oh, I'm sorry.
At 8 o'clock.
See you later, Boff. I'm Biff. Patrick.
Blanche, come on. Hi, Mr. Vaughn.
Oh, please call me Patrick.
And unless we use them as placemats, your sister will never know.
Finally, someone she can talk to.
I just hope it doesn't make a fuss when my sister's here.
I thought you hate this sister who's coming.
I do.
Kinds of jokes growing up. Actually, it ran in the family. In our breakfast room, we had one whole wall covered with kick me signs we had collected. Oh, there was a story attached to each one of them, and in some cases, the original Scotch tape.